QG. QG aren't going to be the ones to ban Italy. Has to be IG.
And I was going to say, you will give it away at last ban because you think, okay, our Qiao Gu, is it possible that they might throw it down on blue side because they maybe want to prioritize something else. So we'll see if IG pull the trigger on it. Hero, obviously talking very frantically to his players as he looks off screen. Looking
nice and intense there on the left.
Okay.
As they ban away the Lulu.
More mid-focused at Rookie.
They have one more chance for Oscar, and there it is! The Nidalee finally banned away! But that does leave power picks open. This is the first time the mid lane has felt slightly more open as a jungler. And a somewhat obscure jungler is the final ban here, but it's been so good in the series that QG take the power pick. They go straight for the Azir.
And this is really important because Yasuo, Twisted Fate, Lulu, and Victor are all banned. Rookie's champion pool just got so narrow. Azir obviously being his big comfort power pick that he goes back to. Doinb will have his hands on it.
He will. And Rookie took Yasuo in his Game 5 against Vici. Can't take it here. They've been consistently banning stuff away from him, so what does he have here in the matchup as IG take Maokai and Kog'Maw as their first two picks? They are sticking to the formula that has won them these last 3 games.
I think that is also the correct hover right now, that since you see the Kog'Maw and Lulu's banned away, you take away Janna, don't give any more necessary power to that champion and his siege potential. Likewise, don't give him any more tools to disengage away from a fight because Gragas is also still up. But again, this goes back to, what do KaKAO and Swift pick up in their jungle? Yes, Nidalee is the perfect champion to empower that flavor of jungling, of being high mobility, high aggression, carry potential, but there are still a lot of other options open for them. Elise, Rek'Sai, Gragas.
I'm curious to see how late these teams pick their junglers as well. Yeah, Lee Sin could be a thing as well. But QG are going to pick up Gnar. They'll take that again into the Maokai. V had a good lane, although the game didn't work out for him. And there's a Janna pick away as well. So going to cut the Gragas Janna duo in half. If IG want the Gragas, they can have it, but they won't get both picks here. And I honestly think that IG might not pick their jungle this rotation.
I know, it wouldn't be crazy to see them counter-pick the jungle matchup just because that's how important it is, but I feel at the same time, you almost need the Gragas because you have the Kog'Maw. You need some sort of disengage for him, a reset.
Yep, some way to protect him. We've seen Kog'Maw do the damage, have the siege, and be just so good in so many different games today and all throughout playoffs here in the LPL. But he does need a little bit of assistance as Braum is open. A fine pick here for IG if they want it.
We are going to counter-pick our jungle matchup.
By the looks of things, yeah, Rookie's at least going to hover.
Okay, there we go. I was going to say, you can't give it away. You have to pick up Gragas.
See KaKAO, he's talking to his coaches. Seems like they want to select Gragas here. They're going to give Rookie the counter pick again. 2 seconds left. IG, they lock in Ekko. It's not the Gragas. They take Alistar Ekko as their 3rd and 4th.
It could still be flexed, however. Again, 5.14. Ekko is starting to shift back towards that mid position. And Rookie's played it, as has KaKAO.
It's true. One of the few teams in the LPL that actually gets to flex Ekko.
I like the pick. The only other one is OMG.
Yep, that's the other one. Try on the matchup, but I like the fact that it's open for IG. Red side drafting can be a bit tricky. We've seen again blue side be the somewhat more successful side. But I think QG know their picks are sort of locked in here. I'm not sure how I feel about TNT Sivir, but I think the Gragas is a no-brainer here for Swift.
Do it.
I don't know where Misfortune came into the conversation between these 3 picks. They lock in Sivir Gragas instead. They're going to give Doinb the big carry.
Okay, so typically when you see Janna and Gragas, the 2 hardest resets in the game, the Monsoon and the Cask, you pair that in tandem with a hyper carry like Twitch. That said, TNT's most played champion, like a lot of AD carries in the LPL, is Sivir. And for a long time when they had their massive blue side win rate, when they were undefeated, their priority pick was Sivir Janna. So focusing on their bot lane and giving them that disengage. So TNT, yeah, it's a little weird. It's not the hyper carry that you would expect, but he's a phenomenal Sivir player.
I like that they're shifting the power a little bit more. TNT is going to get something a bit more low econ. Doinb is going to get the big farming carry, I guess, and it does work in with the rest of their draft. QG have selected their 5. It's looking good for them. But what do IG want to take here? Rookie, he needs a carry. He needs a comfort champion as well.
I'd like to see him go back to Ahri. I'd like to see him create the pressure in the mid lane, open up space for KaKAO to invade on the Ekko.
And there it is. Ahri is going to be the last pick here for Invictus Gaming. Rookie frantically talking to his coaches and teammates. But they do give KaKAO the Ekko. They move Ahri into the mid lane. Last time Rookie played Doinb with Ahri, things went very well for him.
I mean, that...
But it's a very different matchup.
I was going to say, that said, it is a very different matchup across from Azir, so... this is a classic Qiao Gu composition. We see this all the time. The Sivir, Janna, the rotations, the siege, the team fight potential to rush at you, to fight you. Gnar, Azir combo with the CC lock on walls. On the other side, IG, a lot of comfort picks. Yeah,
and again, just playing to their strengths. They've got good 5v5. They can create pressure. Rookie's got good waves, they're good roaming. Yeah, it's sort of... Both teams, honestly, have different power points and they sort of carry themselves smoothly up until the game. And given the fact that Italy's finally gotten banned, I think the game will be nice and smooth. It'll be a very big Game 5 here for both these sides. We had 4 games of Snowball League. What is Game 5 have in store for us Schooners? As you go through our matchups, V on Gnar versus Zzitai on Maokai, as Swift takes Gragas into KaKAO's Ekko.
I just feel like this is still about the 2v2, the Azir Gragas versus the Ekko Ahri, as we see Doinb and Rookie. Intense matchup.
Very intense.
I'm really happy that Rookie decided to go for the Ahri as opposed to falling back to Orianna.
I think so too. A bit more proactive, very comfortable pick for him. As we see TNT, speaking of comfort, going to Sivir there versus Kids Kog'Maw. It's been a big pick all day long. But the supports are a little different. TCT on Janna. That shields especially, and Kitties on Alistar.
Janna, TCT's most played champion of the split. Sivir and Janna are the #1 played bot lane for Qiao Gu. They have so much comfort on this.
And again, makes sense. You're in Game 5. There's only one left to play. You might as well play with your most comfortable picks. But we do not have very much longer left. We only have 1 game left to play. Who's going to make it to the finals? Let's find out as we get onto the Rift. For us, Gurren, it all comes down to this. Game 5 between QG and IG, as we have gone the distance once again in an Invictus Gaming best of 5. We're looking to claim the LPL title for reverse sweep champions. And I cannot believe this is actually happening. They might not win, but the fact that we even got to this spot, one hell of a run here for Invictus Gaming. And both teams are very hungry for that spot in the finals.
It has been a roller coaster of a series. There's been no game that's gone over 30 minutes. Everything has been one-sided, and Doinb, again, walking into Rookie. This looks like a repeat of Game 3.
It does a little bit here as Rookie feeling confident, nice and aggressive. Again, have to expect that the mid lane is going to be nice and bloodthirsty here. That was how they kind of got themselves psyched up for Game 3 and then carried themselves to the spot. So I think both teams... Look at the mid laner for IG and the jungler for QG to go a little bit crazy.
We do have a lane swap being initiated by Invictus Gaming, which very out of character. Normally they do not lane swap. That said, after the success that they got on Zzitai last time, can understand why they want to pull the trigger.
Yep, certainly here. Zzitai is going to start with that jungle, but V and Swift are going to pair up as well, so they're maybe expecting it. See a couple pings there. Might have spotted Kog'Maw already.
Now it's about controlling V. So again, V has a tendency where he just kind of walks into certain death or very unfortunate situations a little bit before Qiao Gu are primed and ready. And he's so key to their team fighting power. As a kitty. Oh, you got one.
Swift's going to get the knock up though. V's going to chase him. Doesn't have the hyper, just the boomerang. And Kitties, he'll shake it all off. He's going to keep following them apparently.
So what's really important there is that Alistar did manage to get one of the Sentinels, which denies a lot of EXP to the jungle duo combo there.
You can see Zzitai now getting harassed also.
How far is he going to chase them? He like chased them all the way around the corner.
Checking the wolf camp out, you know.
Get off my lawn.
Trying to see what he could do. He's actually going to go back now.
He's going to walk down bottom and help out Maokai.
Oh, actually does cancel that recall. Zzitai thought that was in tower range, I think. But he gets a lot of harass as a result.
Could be perhaps heading back to lane to quickly pick up level 2 before he goes back to Zzitai.
Oof, Rookie.
No, it's because they're pulling Zzitai off. Okay.
They're going to swap him back around.
He's
like, guys, I'm already done. Get me back into the 1v1 lane.
I'm out, please. Does have his teleport. He's going to go for a stroll, perhaps meet up with KaKAO and do some double jungling.
That would make sense as well. We saw this actually be one of IG's adaptations in the last game where we had a lane swap.
Rookie always does this. He always pulls his wave. He always gets a nice freeze in front of the tower. So we've seen Rookie turn on the bloodthirst, go for the 1v1 outplay and the kill. looks like he's going to kind of fall back onto old habits and be about denying the CS and experience.
To be fair, that last game where he did that, he had a very good reason to do so, given what had happened. So Rookie's just a smart player. He always plays the most sensible course of action. He's very good in lane.
Probably the best LPL mid laner in lane in just terms of wave management and posturing. I
would agree as he goes for a second Doran. So going to be nice and aggressive here for Doinb. Again, opens up space for KaKAO. Whether he wants to farm or invade, Rookie's going to have tempo. And that's, for me, why I like the Ahri pick most for IG.
No, I completely agree. Qiao Gu are going to go ahead and pull the trigger on this Dragon as they've swapped their duo, have the stronger number side on the bottom side of the map. Not swapped, had it the entire time.
Smart stuff, though, for QG. Regardless, as Doinb is also going to go back after shoving in that wave.
Making sure that Rookie can't move to perhaps peek his head into the Dragon, but with IG, all of the numbers to the top side, he's not going to walk that way anyway.
Yep. Not a worry there at all. KaKAO is stealing away some jungle. QG will get low, but will not die here to the Dragon. The smite will go down. And Swift will claim that for his team as the first one. This last game goes over to Qiao Gu.
And we saw this last game, but it was Invictus Gaming starting the Dragon 5-game win condition early. So we'll see if they're able to make the same smart macro plays that IG made for him.
You can see Zzitai actually continuing to follow KaKAO for quite a while here. He's actually teamed up with Kitties as well for a devastating 3-man gank unit. But all that experience is filtering over, and Zzitai is ever so slightly above V in levels.
Likewise, I'm not quite sure where they're going to look for their roaming gank squad, just because there's a very small window to gank Ahri once she's level 6. It's pretty much impossible. Likewise, Rookie is so good at, shoving his wave, taking safe golden experience, and then just kind of disappearing back.
TNT holding this wave down here as well. No fast pushes at all, actually. You even look at Kog'Maw. Look how far back he is towards his turret, just getting last hits.
Big difference between these compositions is where their late game power is weighted. For Qiao Gu, it's weighted on Azir, but hold on, scuffle in the jungle.
Invade here now as KaKAO puts down the convergence. Great tornado from TCT. He's going to disengage out of
they
Swift.
turn.
Does go back in with the body slam. Rookie's kind of around the side. Doinb's here as well. KaKAO's about to get hypered up. He does get tagged. And that's going to force KaKAO out. Zzitai taking a lot of damage, gets exhausted and flashes out to safety. But QG win the early trade. 2
Blinky members, but what will it translate into? The best that they can hope for is maybe some deep vision into Invictus Gaming, but otherwise it doesn't translate into a tower. It doesn't give them the Dragon. They've already taken that.
Just some summoner spells, I guess. So maybe look for the re-invade and get a bit more aggressive on the next skirmish. But you're right. They don't get too much out of it, but it's nice to see QG back on the front foot.
Playing more aggressive, but again, going back to their composition, the one kind of difference is that Azir is your late game for Qiao Gu, whereas Kog'Maw is your late game for Invictus. And we talked about this, in the LGD versus GD set. Anytime Kog'Maw's in a game, there's kind of a window of opportunity of how you can act, because eventually the 45-minute, 50-minute mark, if we ever get there this series, he's just so devastating to deal with.
Yeah, and QG have a fine comp, but Kog'Maw, especially into Azir, is part of the reason the champion got so popular.
The range, the fact that Azir can't really, he can reach you, but Kog'Maw has a lot more safety and space to play with. Here we go.
Azir's the poke champion. As KaKAO's going to go back in, looks for the stun, does not get it. Kitties, though, with a very nice knock-up. There's Rookie going straight in onto TCT, but he can't quite finish the kill. Kids firing off bolts as well, and Rookie does go deep, and he gets first blood.
I was going to say, I don't know how anyone survived off of that, but in the back half, Rookie does manage to find TCT. Beautiful job diving, making sure that their dive was off the back of the tower so no one had to juggle any sort of aggro.
No, blue buff steal as well as Invictus Gaming are the ones to show the first bit of real aggression here in this game. They get first blood, but you can see Sivir's pushing down the bottom side. QG are trying to respond as best they can.
But again, there's no objective trade here. Technically a blue buff was stolen away, but it didn't translate into a tower, just some kill gold.
Kid, 4 levels or so ahead of his own support, had lots of solo experience, so going to be happy for the extra levels as Kitties honestly is just back here to try and zone V and soak that experience. And V again is going to start relatively behind, but it's not nearly as bad as it was last time.
Yeah, I completely agree, especially as Zzitai is just now getting back to his own lane. We've got about 12 CS to 16, so like you said, being much closer to Zzitai than he was last game.
I guess it's a matter of how much can he get now, because Kitties is moving back to zone. Doinb actually barely misses getting charmed. But good harass down onto Rookie.
He's applying pressure on Rookie because, as you can see, Swift and TCT trying to make the counter trade on the blue buff.
Gonna look for it here as Doinb's gonna rotate himself over. get on top of the blue buff, will be able to take it away. So steal for steal there, as both mid laners eventually will end up with a blue buff.
See if Rookie finally gets his back in this time around. Like you said, going the double Doran's route to open up space for KaKAO to give him the advantage in the lane phase. If he's going to go for the Morellos.
No Spanish Codex, so quite possibly. But a Chalice up for Doinb, it could be that item as well for Rookie. Plenty of options here early on into this game. It's only been 1 kill, we're 9 minutes in. And Dragon will be back up in a minute 30. Qiao Gu did get the first one.
Oh, IG.
Smart macro play.
Posturing for another dive, though. KaKAO is not level 6, and he's also spotted out by a ward.
Back away from that instead as TNT starting to proxy this top wave and continue to deny Zzitai.
So much emphasis on denying both these top laners. KaKAO constantly applying pressure to the top side, forcing V to back off the tower. Likewise, Qiao Gu proxy farming behind tower, forcing Zzitai to kill his experience.
And now IG are finally going to take down the turret. This looks like these will come relatively close within each other. Bottom tower goes down. They'll get the trade here, so the gold will be nice and even. IG will actually be ahead just due to the first blood onto Rookie.
I was going to say, after it's all said and done, about 10 minutes into this game, the lane swap, we should have both dual lanes back down since Dragon will be spawning in 40 seconds. Yes, IG have the gold lead because they got the first blood, but the Dragon is invisible gold, and so I'm still going to give the initial lane swap lead to Qiao Gu.
I mean, certainly haven't fallen nearly as far behind as they did last time this happened, so...
But this is what we talked about for Qiao Gu. Just play a standard lane game. Just passive farm it up, take a very Qiao Gu composition. The Sivir Janna is so signature and key to them. And just meet IG in late game team fights. Do you?
Yeah. You do you.
You do you, Qiao Gu.
Well, IG, you've definitely been doing them for the last few games. But it's been relatively quiet as we even the gold back up. Dragon is up right now. IG are the first ones to the area. Although actually... looks like QG pushed up a bit more in that bottom side. No one reacting just yet. This is going to calm things down.
Got a lot of key items out, but nothing complete, just a lot of ingredients. So no Trinity Force live. Sivir does have both of the key components of her flat AD for the Infinity Edge. However, the Bloodthirster builds into Infinity Edge. No, the BF sword and the pickaxe. I wish I had that item.
That'd be great. Like, install a Bloodthirster over your Infinity Edge.
It goes great with my decor. I just installed a BT.
That's QG.
You've seen my apartment, it makes so much sense.
Now I'm afraid. But QG are going to move onto the Dragon. Rookie's getting pushed in, so he's going to be a little late to the party. But QG are going to start it. IG, though, looking to fight. Okay, watch for the headbutt pulverize if Kitties can knock out multiple members. Oh, Doinb has to zone them away. Not confident, especially with V going back in a mini now. KaKAO's going to say, all right, I'll take it. I'll zone you out with my W. Do you want to get into a smite where I dare you? Swift's going to come in for it. They're going to try and get it. He does take it away, and Qiao Gu do get Dragon, but KaKAO's been chunked out low. So is Zzitai. They're going to continue moving in for the fight. Good cuss to get the kill there onto Zzitai. And can they get any more kills? Swift's going to keep chasing. KaKAO is low, but that's going to be it. Okay, so let's talk about how Qiao Gu got the better posture there. Because they took down the bottom tier tower, whereas Invictus Gaming have control of the top tier tower, IG have more control of the top side of the map, Qiao Gu have more control of the bottom side of the map. It gave them the initial posture, and then they just set up perfectly for that team fight with possibly a dive. Well, they're thinking about at least the tower. Yep. 4 versus 2. Rookie going to get zoned away. Good chunk. KaKAO dives straight in. Chrono breaks out, but the Sun Turret's up, and Rookie has to back away. But that's a 2-swing objective for Qiao Gu. And we talked about this. Standard lanes. Just slow it down. Take away the Nidalee. Play your game. This is something... IG, they're the Chameleons, their adaptation, they adapted to the Nidalee pick. They took it away. They turned on the aggression. They haven't seen this Qiao Gu yet. Not in the playoffs. No, that's true. And I don't know how long it's been since they played in the LPL. But it's a whole different ballgame now, as IG not too far behind. Remember, the game is much slower this time around. But you have to expect this. It's the last game of a best-of-5 series, the semifinals of the playoffs. No one's going to try a risky level 1. We didn't see Qiao Gu, 5-man invading this time around. They're going to take it late game. They're going to take where they're comfortable. And just keep farming, and that's true for both sides here. Rookie still farming away. Doinb continuing to gatekeep at his mid lane turret. Going to shove out these creeps. You can see why Azir is such a strong champion. And even V getting his farm on. Yep, Qiao Gu have now rotated their AD carry around, so going towards the freestanding gold. They've done a great job controlling the objectives this game. A tower advantage over IG as well as both those dragons. And as you can see, Sivir on that top side. See if we can get any more turrets. Up 2-1 already, thanks to the clever objective controller on the last dragon fight. As V is trying to hold this lane here by the looks of things. Wants to collect as much farm as possible. It really is top laners in these lane swaps that are trying to find the edges.
Yeah, he wants little Kog'Maw to come out of his hiding place and overextend past the safety of a tower. So all of the resources are topside for Qiao Gu, but it's just a little bit scary for Kid to be this far forward. Although now that everyone's shown, that's why he's able to confidently siege that tower.
Kitties even down here as well. Not far off usually is the Alistar from Kog'Maw. And Kid will try and knock down this tower for himself. So AD carries getting into those early positions, trying to knock down some turrets. And there's the first one. Sivir a little bit better right now versus Kog at taking turrets. Kid doesn't have that Trinity Force just yet, so going to be a bit far behind, but should be able to take it regardless. Especially
in tandem with Janna. The thing about Janna is she just empowers the siege potential with her Eye of the Storm, but more importantly her Tailwind passive to get carries to rotate very quickly in between the lanes.
Now Rookie making his way down to the blue buff. Couldn't take that for himself. Zzitai collecting some farm as it crashes into his turret. And again, quite a lot quieter in this particular game. Less than 2,000 gold between these two teams. Although Qiao Gu do have the gold lead and the dragon lead. So they're certainly off to a good start here, but never count out IG. This is going to be a much closer game 5, kind of expectedly, than we've seen the last 4B. We had a lot of snowball in this series.
Any other way.
Exactly.
But again, just to remind everyone, Dragon, I consider it invisible gold. Every single stat in this game has a gold value associated with it, especially when it's a scaling AD stat that the first Dragon will give you. So yeah, it looks about a 1k, 2k gold difference between these two teams, but you always have to take into account that extra power because Qiao Gu have the Dragon advantage.
Looking to play around the third one here. It's not up just yet, but looking to try and get that vision down. Baron, not really a consideration at this point in time, so would make sense that the teams are hanging out down here, and there it is, 2 minutes up.
I mean, it's the LPL, but 15-minute Baron's pushing it.
Once upon a time, I'm sure that would have been a thing, but no longer the case.
If anyone would do it, it would be.
Can you imagine to show up to the pitch like, go get it. Oh. That's the first time the Baron buff changed. They like tried to go for the 15-minute Baron. They're like, oh.
Yep. But we have Qiao Gu attempting to siege on the bottom side of the map here. Now, typically, I would say that their priority objective should be that middle tier tower, but just playing around their deep vision, playing around the building wave that they already had. Dragon will be spawning in 1 minute 30 seconds, so teams should still be refreshing their deep vision, playing around bottom side and trying to posture for that next big dragon.
Yeah, I like the group there from QG. They've got Sivir already with the Infinity Edge, so don't really need to worry about other farm, with Dragon being the more important current objective. But Kid is still farming up. Rookie went back. He's got a needlessly large rod now as well. And the Righteous Glory is just completed for Zzitai. So IG can look to contest with his next dragon. It's rare to see a team get 3 in a row. You have to think IG are trying to stop the next one.
Yeah, and they've put themselves in perfect posture, like you said, pointing out the Righteous Glory, the Trinity Force. They're on the power spike. The Righteous Glory will particularly be potent for that flank, which both teleports are available from either top laner. So just about can V micromanage his mini Gnar and mega Gnar form, and will Qiao Gu protect their vision and get better posture on this pit. Now again, they still have more control. Oh, never mind. Bottom tier tower went down. Even control on either side of the map.
Kid takes away the grub. Wants to get a little bit stronger. KaKAO gonna take the wolf camp as Ekko. And only 15 seconds after that next big objective is going to spawn. 3 dragons is a big deal here for QG. That's usually the sign that you can, especially at this stage, given how early the first one was in the lane swap, makes that 5th dragon win condition, even the threat of it, just appears that much earlier.
And it kind of forces the onus on Invictus Gaming to be reactive. They can no longer give it up, and they may force themselves into a less than ideal situation or team fight. And again, against Qiao Gu, the kings of team fighting, that can get very scary. We haven't seen them appear yet this series, but I promise you, they're there.
They're certainly good. As you do have QG, the first to the area on the dragon. B's building rage now as well. He actually might teleport early, just to make sure he has it, but both top laners sort of have to come soon. KaKAO trying to line things up. Zzitai is going to come in. B has to come in soon now as well. He does come in. He's actually looking for a bit of a
behind the team, though.
Doesn't really have the rage to do that. They're going to try and take the dragon down. They will get it. And V's actually dodging out of the way. Managed to get himself to safety. IG will lead a tornado, but they already got the dragon. QG have no reason to fight as KaKAO is going to leap onto V, but he can't get the kill. In fact, he might be in trouble. Chrono break here for KaKAO. Might be lining things back up, but A little too dangerous as QG barreled through the jungle.
Indecision just rocks Invictus Gaming here. They lose posture on the Dragon despite the fact that they had a 4v5 in front of them. V was completely split up from the team, and more important, Qiao Gu get the Dragon and posture on this mid-tier tower.
They get it. It's 4 towers to 2 now as IG. Starting to fall actually pretty far behind.
They should have immediately pulled the trigger. V made such a massive error on that teleport, splitting himself up from his team, not even having the threat of Mega Gnar. I could understand if there was a Mega Gnar behind you, but that was a little mini Gnar. Little baby squirrel.
It was a little baby squirrel. The squirrel does get scary. But it was going to take V a little while to build up that rage. Instead, QG managed to divert their attention. They do get the Dragon. It's number 3 now. And 3,000 gold up for Qiao Gu now as well.
It's going to be that movement speed buff, which is so key to Qiao Gu's team fight, especially with the Sivir Janna. Again, they run this comp all the time. I call it the murder train comp. Eventually, they're just going to start running at people. But so far, again, Qiao Gu haven't really shown their team fighting chops. It's been out macro.
Yeah, they haven't needed to be perfectly honest. As Doinb returns to the mid lane with his blue buff, continuing to zap down waves. It looks like he might be going Abyssal second now, respecting the power of the Ahri and the Ekko. And Kog'Maw to a lesser extent as well.
He is facing across from a lot of magic damage, pretty much every single champion on that team. But we've seen a lot of magic damage compositions just because Abyssal is in such a healthy spot.
Not the Raleigh Dodge this time, but Doinb still going to be nice and tanky. You can see the sort of philosophy behind these builds. You know, have damage, but safety first. Azir is that the sort of champion that, left untouched in team fights, will do massive amounts of sustained damage. You
don't necessarily need the big flat AP for burst damage just because he's a control mage, so it's about the elongated fights, the sustained damage that can come out from Sand Soldiers.
TNT continues to get minions. He's actually moving pretty quickly towards that Phantom Dancer. So a bit more late game oriented, but he'll be doing significant damage. That's the thing about Sivir, she almost always farms up a storm. 40 CS ahead of Kid, who's still looking for that second item.
Yeah, but still normally we see the static Shiv build on the Sivir this time around, prioritizing the Phantom Dancer. Doesn't need to be the primary source of wave clear though, since Doinb is on this Azir, as you can see. 3 Sand Soldiers can cut through creep waves pretty quickly.
And not interested in leaving the mid lane. Hasn't really left all game long. It actually does have a giant spell now on top of the Abyssal that he just went and got.
So it's the big, like you said, the gatekeeper of the mid lane. This is the most important objective for Invictus Gaming to siege down, because once they open this up, they get so much more passive map and vision control. Until this goes down, they're kind of choked up. They're limited in their movements.
You can see QG, 2 pink wards, actually 3 up on the left-hand side of the map, with Doinb sitting in the mid lane. They're not going anywhere quickly. And IG, we've sort of seen this through the game, is that they're falling behind slowly, but they're still falling behind.
I feel like at this point, it's fair to say that IG are just passively losing the game. They're just not being proactive around the map. And, you know, you have Rookie on R, you have so much mobility there. And yes, Doinb's doing a great job, you know, continually pushing in the mid lane, trying to lock down this Ahri, but you need to get roaming. You need to have that impact. They got this far on the back of Rookie and KaKAO unlocking each other.
And it's just not been there, at least this game, as QG starting to push their vision up a little bit deeper towards the red side of the jungle. You know they've got Baron on the brain. They've got 2 minutes to play towards it now as well, with Dragon coming back up in 1:50 or so.
And that would be Dragon number 4, which would make a Baron after that even easier. And especially with Azir, who's so good at taking Baron.
Chopping through minions still, Doinb. Cutting all those waves down. He's got a nice CS lead up as well. Kid, he's definitely been struggling. Still looking for those next few items. Rookie does go back and get himself a death cap. I mean, the tools are here for IG, but they just haven't pulled the trigger just yet. Although QG now going to transfer themselves and presumably their vision back over to the Dragon side, with it being up in 1:20.
Yeah, you have to think that IG, they have to go for this one. You can't give away Dragon 4. You can't open up that 5th Dragon win condition, because then, again, just puts the onus on you to act that time, maybe put yourself in a less than ideal situation. They have the tools, the itemizations come out, you have the completed death cap. I understand that if you get aced here, it's very easy for Qiao Gu to walk across and look towards Baron and really snowball, but you can't just continue to watch your 5th game of your playoff series walk by.
Yeah, I agree. There's no better time than now here. for Invictus Gaming. Kid would like another item, but I don't think he has a choice.
I feel like this
EDG ran into this problem against LGD, where it's like, well, it's not good, but it's not getting any better. Might as well fight.
I feel like they just need a motivational poster.
Maybe.
No, it's supposed to be just do it. Right now, it's like, maybe, meh.
I don't know. Non-committal.
They've done a good job prepping their waves into the top side. Zzitai making sure that he's pushing forward, so he'll back and start walking towards the Dragon Pit. So hopefully trying to beat that teleport cooldown.
Vision there for IG as well. They've got a good entrance into the Baron Pit, Dragon Pit, sorry.
He got another initial buy, so Zzitai did pick up the Warden's Mail right before this Dragon fight. V is prioritizing the top side of the map, taking care of the wave. So if he wants to get into this, he'll have to burn his teleport. Which
is fine. Not sitting in lanes before Dragon is okay because of the rage thing.
Yeah, stacking it on the creep wave so he can come in.
Although he just hit Mega Gnar, so bit awkward.
Rip.
We'll see what happens here.
Okay, IG, just be patient. Wait for Mega Gnar to fall off.
You can see him, so they certainly can wait. Doinb again. Back to business.
And there's no onus on Qiao Gu to go to the Dragon and start that one up again. Just wait for V to prop the wave. Wait for IG to start this one up.
That being said, if they ever see IG out of position, I don't think I've heard a Sivir ult once. It's still there. They can still press the button and go straight in. IG are going to start this Dragon. They're getting nice and aggressive.
Okay, here we go though. Swift has the cask available. Can look for a pick.
V kind of needs to come in now. Because he's not going to build enough rage. He is going to come in. The ulti there for Doinb. He's going to try and keep them out. Rookie sort of caught away. A huge ult there from TCT. But Zzitai going to dive into the backline. He's not that tanky as QG. More than happy to take them out. And the ulti's been popped here. Swift is going to die off to the sidelines, but they're chasing down the carries. Kid is going to die as well.
Rookie's still alive.
More than enough there from V. As Rookie gets exhausted, they're going to chase him down. Doinb's going to come in there. KaKAO's going to try and make a big play, but he does go down. As Sivir picks up the triple. IG Kitties is going to go down as well as TNT comes up with a quadra.
There they are. That's the Qiao Gu we know and love. Now Rookie will see if he's able to sneak out of this one with his life, but a beautiful ultimate, not only from TCT, but Doinb splitting that fight up with the Emperor's Divide as well as the Monsoon. They don't take the Dragon, they push down the tower and then turn back for the Serpent.
Easy objective first. I'll take the blue buff and the pink ward on the way out. Maybe not the pink ward actually, but they'll certainly get the blue. And now they'll take the Dragon, and QG are going to rocket up ahead in gold. There's 7,000 gold up with Dragon number 4.
Okay, so here's the replay from here. And what I want you to watch is how they split the front of this fight up. So here comes the Emperor's Divide, just creating space for Azir and V to stand behind their barrack. Then TCT flashboard disrupts them again, and so much sustained damage has been putting out while ID have been knocked around by the Emperor's Divide and the Monsoon that there's just no way that they can front a fight, get their resources, their front line back in front of this Kog'Maw. This is Qiao Gu. This is their team fighting.
It is, and it's looking good so far, and understandably TNT is the one scooping up all the kills. Get himself a nice shiny new Vampiric Scepter and Spectre's Cowl. He's apparently done on damage for now. Just needs those tank items here.
And the thing that I really want to hit on, since we do have Qiao Gu in the game, is, you know, the LPL has always really been well known for its team fighting, but what about the team fight is it that makes it different from the other regions? And I call it the terrain control, the ability to fight on different fronts, how they use their abilities and how it's layered and stacked. And I think that was a great example of that last team fight, you know, using the Emperor's Divide, creating a barracks, splitting up 3 different fights, making sure that the enemy team can't get a front-to-back composition to protect their Kog'Maw.
Scoop them up as they go in. Now IG trying to defend their red buff. Kitties gets knocked back in there as well. KaKAO's got the W down. They might be able to turn this. Doinb gets stunned as KaKAO going to dive in on there. But KaKAO's not that tanky. He will die to TNT. And V has been drawing the rest of the team away as Rookie is trying to find a pick. But V is getting stronger. Doinb is going to take out Kitties, and QG get 2 more kills.
And with KaKAO dead, immediately the pings fall back to Baron. TNT is still alive, but more importantly, that Azir as they start to shred.
He's got Rylai's now as well. Pretty tanky. TCT is going to reset with a Monsoon. IG are not going to be here in time to even contest that Baron. It will go down. The teleport's here. V's going to, it's Zzitai actually. Wrong way, buddy. He's going to get slowed up. Can't escape this Azir. Rookie's going to try and make a play. Does get the first kill into Gragas, but he gets taken out by Gnar.
And again, IG, they just look like they're having massive miscommunication issues. The teleport going down, and Zzitai running in with the Baron already dead. They just lost 2 members as Qiao Gu march up mid lane with Baron buff.
Oh, Rookie. Hand on his cheek there. It's tough right now here as QG have got themselves 10,000 gold ahead. As that top breaks in the mid, IG's hopes are starting to crumble. Mid inhibitor's going to go down, and Qiao Gu looking to force a date with LGD for the first time ever in their LPL.
Invictus Gaming, they saw the crutch of the Nidalee. They picked it up, they adapted, they started to abuse that weapon. When we talked about it, you know, they haven't met this form of Qiao Gu in a long time. Reset the lanes, just play it standard. Do you, Qiao Gu, and push down IG. They've run out of time. They don't have any more time to react to this.
And IG are going to have to try and pick up whatever they can. But it's QG that are now on the warpath. They've got so many items and so much gold. They've already broken.
That said, late game, if they can just get Kog'Maw to 45 to 50 minutes, again, where are these teams weighted? Doinb is the late game threat on the Azir. Kid is the late game threat on the Kog'Maw. Get your front to back composition. Get the front line.
I don't completely, like, I do know what their comp does. They have to set it up. They haven't found picks just yet.
The Qiao Gu are so good at using their tools available, the Cask, the Monsoon, the Emperor's Divide, to disrupt the setup and the posturing of Invictus Gaming's composition.
Let's just clean up from there. QG have made it look easy for 30 minutes or so now. We've seen a lot of these games end at this point. This game is not over. QG are making it look close. KaKAO again going to set up. Puts the W down, but Rosin rushes in. Gets the Banshees for his trouble. KaKAO now going to eat a whole host of damage as Kitties dives into the backline. V going to go in, looking for the huge scoop. Gets one back in onto Zzitai, but Doinb's going to put up his ulti. They'll just kite them as they move forward, and now Swift's going to dive in onto the carries. He's tying them up, doing the damage. Rookie's trying to make something happen, but another kill there for TNT as he finds the triple.
They've got a big minion wave in the base, however, and they're now crashing towards the Nexus Tower. So the reason IG pulled the trigger is because they were losing so much health from the Nexus Tower.
Teleport down as well. The towers are going to get cracked. Rookie and Kid, the carries are left alive, but I don't know if they can shake this off. And Qiao Gu are going to get their date in the finals against LGD. It took 5 games, but they got there.
Qiao Gu finally remembering who they are, the kings of team fighting, and they come out swinging in the final game of a best-of-5.
And Italy was all the ruse for us, Corinne. We had 4 epic games, and in honestly a very quick amount of time. Another short game. QG, win or lose, apparently are very efficient, and Rookie leans back in his chair. He can feel the reverse sweep again, but I already told you, you don't get the miracle twice. You only get it once a tournament. And they already used it up against Vici.
Qiao Gu from the LSPL, their first split in the LPL. They placed second in the regular season. Everyone's looking at them. They're the pseudo Snake. They're just like Snake. They'll fall apart in the playoffs. Now have a date with LGD, not EDG, LGD of all teams in the finals. Who would have predicted this?
Not me, that's to say. We've already had plenty of upsets and crazy things happen in the LPL playoffs. IG's run ends here, but what a run it was, playing the maximum amount of games.
The raw outplay and just style of this series, KaKAO versus Swift, I'm so impressed. Normally, you know, players, they try to go for the 1v1, like, okay, maybe just back off. Just go back to Orianna, just take the safe pick. Swift and KaKAO, Rookie and Doinb, they were at each other's necks the entire series.
And it's important as well for IG to keep playing on. They'll have a matchup tomorrow. But they're going to be thinking about that tonight at least. They'll leave that for another day here. Qiao Gu are the ones to claim glory today and press forward to LGD in the finals. And I believe with this win, LGD are no longer guaranteed the spot at Worlds. I think that's how that works. I could be wrong.
I'd have to double check. That said, I mean, Qiao Gu, they impressive in the final game, impressive through the course of that split. Like you said, we've had very quick games over all 5. All under 30 minutes. I think that last one was the longest, but LGD very handedly, very quickly dismantled EDG in a 3-0 sweep. So looking across, are you nervous?
I mean, maybe. You can see the smiles out for Qiao Gu. Happy right now. Got about a week to prepare for their finals. As you look over at the IG side, they'll have a little less time to think about this match because they have to play tomorrow. 3rd and 4th place is somehow IG versus EDG.
Who would have guessed? I just love the finals, the macro-oriented team, the chess masters, LGD versus the kings of team fighting, Qiao Gu. Just the stylistic matchup.
Yeah, Really crazy stuff there, but we'll wrap things up for this evening. It's been a wild ride here at the LPL playoffs, and it all continues tomorrow again with the 3rd and 4th place match. For myself, Roscoe, Sada, Rusty, and our entire live production crew, the LPL's been fun, so have you at home, and we'll see you all tomorrow.